Hi, guys, and welcome to the show. I'm Lisa Akbari, your ear doctor, and today I'm going to answer your questions as usual. Thank you so much for the questions coming. I'm going to try to get all of these in so I don't have to do a part 1, 2, and 3. Sorry about that. Okay, now I don't have earrings on today, if you notice, but that's okay. I don't know what happened. Just went out today without earrings. That's just it. So, all right, let's move forward. Let's get your first question in. The question is, I big chopped 6 months ago. I have 3 inches of hair, and it's a 4B and 4C. And I'm just going to tell you guys about the 4B, 4C, and all of that. I just don't relate as well to that. I'm just going to be honest with you. I believe there's, and I'm just going to throw this out there before I answer her question. I believe there's kinky hair or straight hair. And there are different degrees of kinkiness, which is what you're saying. So maybe you guys can email me that for that chart and where you found that research. I think I remember Oprah Stylist saying something about that years ago, but send me that research, guys, okay? And I'm sure that I probably could find it myself, but I'm hearing it a lot and I want someone to send me that research. But anyways, I believe there is kinky or straight. I believe there's also certain degrees of kinkiness, like you have slightly kinky, medium degree of kinky, and extreme kinky hair. Okay, so that's my opinion, whatever it's worth. All right, so let's get back to the question. Very tightly coiled hair is what she said she has, which I'm sure is beautiful, by the way. My question is, will my hair texture stretch or change as I gain length? Okay, remember with our hair, when you get length, your hair will look longer, but depending on that type that you have, the type deals with whether it's kinky or straight. It's going to spiral inward and bounce back. It's going to spiral inward, you pull it back, pull it out, it's going to bounce back. Now, what I'm saying is, depending on the length of your hair, if you have 4 inches of hair, it's going to look like you got 2 inches of hair. If you have 6 inches of hair, it's going to look like 3. If you have 10, it may look like 5. So you are not going to get that weight. It's not enough weight to our spiral hair to pull and stretch that curl too much. Even with coarse spiral hair, depending on the actual type, how spiral it is. If it's slightly kinky, then you're going to have it hang more as it get longer. But extremely kinky, it's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to pull back to the scalp because it's extremely kinky. Number two, it's going to cross over to its neighboring hair and it's going to pull with that hair and pull even tighter. So, and that's okay. That's a beautiful thing. But if you want to make your hair appear longer, stretch those curls out, then you have to use products that are pretty dense, that have a little weight to them, things like our hair mud or naturally textured to give it more definition and to help. And you'll notice my hair. Some days when I have less or I have just hydrating products on, my hair is pretty tight. And I have some relaxer on the end because I'm transitioning. But then you'll notice some days, like today, it's really stretching out more. And I I have the same product on, but this is the second day after shampooing. Like I shampooed, today is Friday. I'll shampoo tonight. I shampooed Wednesday. I didn't shampoo Thursday. I shampooed Friday. So I'm stretching out. And plus, I've used more of my naturally textured. And so it's different. All right. So that's it. But your hair is beautiful. Embrace it. Do all the things with that nice spiral hair that maybe some people who can't, who don't have that spiral hair can do. Next question. My hair is thinning very bad. It's bald in the top of my head. What can I do to grow my hair back? All right. two categories of hair loss. There's external and internal, and some of you've heard me say this. Now, we have to decide where our hair loss is. If are we itchy, flaky, tender, we may have some external issues going on. That means those are telltale signs of a type of alopecia or baldness that comes from skin damage. Have that checked out with a trichologist if you have those symptoms. Then there are other types that are genetically linked. We have other types of hair loss. And that hair loss, if we have hair that is, you have to have an examination. If you can have hairs genetically programmed to shut down follicles at a certain cycle. Then if that's occurring, then that's going to have to be dealt with through a trichologist. Then the trichologist will need to make a recommendation to a different practitioner. So we really have to find out where the hair loss is coming from. If it's genetic, if follicle is genetically programmed to stop functioning, or if there's nutrition issues, or it could be other things, hormones, it could be problems with medication, it could be so many things. But without the examination, you just can't be sure. And I wouldn't want to tell you something and have you go try a bunch of things and it not work. So have the examination. Next question. A relaxer caused my hair to fall out on the hairline. Wow, that can happen, and we'll talk more about that later. It grew back in, but the hair does not have the curl like the rest of the head of my head. The hair is very loose. Can the relaxer permanently change my curl pattern? No. Yes. Yes and no. And what am I saying here? I'm saying that a relaxer is a permanent process on your hair. The hair is that was relaxed and the curl where the curl was removed, that's permanent. But if that hair fell out, the relaxer has no ability to make the hair that's going to grow in. It doesn't have the ability to cause that structure to change. So it's important that you understand it's no to the new hair, yes to the hair that was relaxed. So no, it cannot affect that. There's something else going on. We need to find out. But that, no, to answer your question, that cannot, it must be some other problem there. And without an examination, I can't be sure. But remember, all of you out there, because I've had people to say this, patients that come into the institute, I got this perm years ago and my hair was never the same. Hair grows in cycles. Once that hair sheds off and new hair comes in, that's it for the hair that shed it off. The hair that you had when you were a child, you no longer have that hair or the effects of that. You can have some skin damage, and that could be permanent. But the hair grows in cycles. 2, 4, 6 years, that hair has shed it off, and a new hair has come in. Okay? Every 2, 4, 6 years. All right, next question. What is your take on hot oil treatments? Are hot oil treatments beneficial to the hair? Yes and no. And we've talked about hot oil treatments, but let me just kind of in detail. Hot oil treatments can give you some lubrication. So the benefit to a hot oil treatment is you'll have a shine on top of the hair when you use it. And that's a good thing. So you get some lubrication. The problem with hot oil treatments, and I have to say problem, but it's more of almost like a waste to use them when there are things that can give you more. The hot oil treatment's two things. Number one, the molecular weight, the molecules that make up the hot oil treatment are so large that it really does not penetrate into the cuticle. So there's no lasting benefits. So it's kind of an inconvenience. You have to waste the money. You do that and you have to do it every time. What you do deep condition every time. The other thing is it can attract other outside pollutants easier. So you want to be careful. So you put it on, it dissipates, it doesn't go into the cuticle as it should. Outside pollutants, so your hair ends up looking dull or dry or looking. And it's not necessarily becomes dry, but it looks dull or dry. And the thing is, what happens dull or dry because it's attracting all the outside environmental pollutants. And the thing is, we have to look at why we're getting the hot oil treatment. We're doing that because we're trying to save our hair, or whatever reason, we're trying to condition and treat our hair. And of course, we always talk about simplifying it on this show. Simplifying, what does the hair really need? The hair needs to stay strong, and the hair needs to stay hydrated, and we can add to that the lubrication so you can have the shine, which is why some people do the hot oils, or why oils are important. But you don't necessarily need a hot oil treatment because it's not going to give you everything that hair needs to stay healthy. Okay, so hot oil treatments are okay. Do they really hurt the hair? I haven't seen any microscopic images that say they do. It's just not enough benefits to make it worth it. It would be much better to glaze your hair with the oil once you finish your deep conditioning, and you'll get the same benefits. Okay? And the benefits as far as lubrication, but you would have had an opportunity to deep condition. And don't try mixing your hot oil with your deep condition because it's not necessary. Remember, you want the molecular weight to be small enough so that your hair can, the oils can penetrate the cuticle, and you don't want to interfere with that deep penetrating of your deep conditioning. Okay, your protein and moisture. All right, next question. Can you do specific hair type texture video? Okay, fine, i.e., fine, thin, medium, normal, thick, coarse. I have fine, thin, natural hair, and I notice it's hard to style. Okay, how often should thin, fine hair be shampooed? She said washed, but we wash clothes, we wash cars, we shampoo hair. That's like one-on-one cosmetology. Ask your stylist. Okay, how often should fine hair be shampooed? Well, hair should be shampooed on an as-needed basis. Now, if you're asking if there's something different between fine hair and coarse hair or medium hair, well, there's difference in size. Fine hair, the strands are smaller. The actual diameter, the size, it's just smaller. Fine hair tends to look limp faster than, say, coarse hair. So we might tend to want to shampoo it more because anything we put on our fine hair, if we're not careful, we can weigh it down. So you may feel you need to shampoo more often, but you just need to understand what your hair can tolerate. Number one, with support products, you only want to glaze your hand and spot apply to fine hair. That means where it's needed. And remember, guys, support products are for those things. They're only for support. They're not just to lather or lubricate completely every area of your strand if you don't need it, or hydrate every area that if you don't need it. You just need to put it where you need it, when you need it. So with fine hair, you really have to be careful because you can have that weighed down heavy look. All right. So shampooing your hair, you shampoo on an as needed basis every 3 to 7 days. That's normal. Stay inside of 7 days. That's right, because your hair is very polluted after 7 days. If you are swimming, sweating, working out, heavy cardio, then you want to shampoo using our Q Fix or Quick Fix, and you can do that every day. But you have to have a shampoo that's a clarifier. One application will do if you're shampooing often, means daily, because you're only removing the debris from the day, and then you want to stay with the pH 4.5 to 5.5. Okay? All right, next question from this. She has several questions within this question. For natural, is it general? Is it general in general? Natural in general. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just don't read well. For for naturals in general, should the scalp be oiled or just the hair shaft? Oil is for two reasons. Number one is to lubricate and the hair, and that's to give it shine, and the scalp as well, and it's to seal in hydration. So you oil your scalp to seal in your hydration on your scalp because the epidermis itself holds about 20% of its weight in moisture. If you put oil on top, then you will seal in that hydration. If you put oil on the hair, you will seal in the hydration. So if you put moisturizers on, the hair still feels soft, and then it will give it shine. Okay, so you can use it on the scalp and the hair. Long answer for a short question. It said, and next question within this, do I need to use additional oils? Let me see. She said, I use a water-based creamy product with natural oils of coconut. And she had named several of them. Do I need to use additional oils? Remember, we talked about oils because, guys, you guys are doing some great research out there, and you found a lot of natural products. And I just don't want to make you feel that I'm saying you shouldn't use these. I just want your life easier. Because so often, especially women with kinky hair type, we just go through so much thinking that we have to find this and we have to do that. You do want to keep it simple. Those oils are fine. Do the oil test. If it's skin friendly, then it's hair friendly. Apply a little bit to your hand, rub it in, look for the shine, see if it's sticky. It should be fine. And yes, you do want to stay with a lot of natural oils, but the oils itself, you want to lubricate. Mink is one of my favorite oils. It seems to be skin friendly. I haven't seen any skin damage under the microscope. There's always going to be research out there that says something's bad and something's good. So we just really have to look closely ourselves. But no, your oils are fine. And my motto is always, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. So if you have something that's working well, then continue to use it. Okay, it says, one more question. Fine thin hair tends to become dull and dry after 1 or 2 days. How can I combat these issues? With fine and thin hair, most of your shine, because you're looking at your cuticle now, most of the shine comes from the cuticle with hair anyway. And with fine and thin hair, or we say fine hair because thin is just not natural. Fine is more natural. With fine hair, then you have less cuticle layers. And so a couple of things. Number one, you have to remember that after a few days, your everything tends to dissipate because your support products, number one, don't have a lot of places to rest. Support products rest on your cuticle layer. So when you don't have as many cuticle layers, two things happen. One, we tend to use less support products because we're afraid about the limpies or the hair going limp. And then two, it won't hold it because there's nowhere for it to hold. So with that being said, what you need to do is two things. Number one, rely heavily on having healthier hair because healthy cuticles will reflect light whether or not you have fine or coarse hair or even medium. Number two, if you have a dull color to your hair, then use a semi-permanent color, something that's going to give you some tones that you like. Just a semi-permanent deposit to deposit some color pigments into the hair. And then number three, be careful to make sure that you put a small amount spot height lubricate oil just carefully. You're talking glazing the hand and spot because you will feel limp because you can hold very few a small amount of your support products. So try that. It's okay. In 2 or 3 days, you need to shampoo anyway, but the dullness won't happen if you give your hair what it's asking for. Get up and do that hair inspection every morning. If your hair looks dry, then it needs some more lubrication. But the healthier your hair get, the healthier the hair get, the healthier the cuticle will be, and the more the light will reflect from it, and you'll have the shine. All right? Give those things a try. Let me know what happens. Okay, next question. Let's see. I don't want to skip because what I do, I'll read my questions. See, I've got everything all highlighted, but I'll look at it and then I'll just skip right over it, guys. Go figure. Okay, let's see. The next question, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And it says, my crown is finally thickening up and growing. Okay, super. What products in your line should I use to keep my crown area in shape, including the bang area? Also, what product is best in your line to keep the hair strong and moisturized? I have relaxed hair that I relax every 6 months, new growth only I relax on the new growth only 10 minutes. I roll a set every week without fail. Any advice you can give me will help out a lot. Well, it looks like you've got some good habits here. And what I want to say is that number one, you want to just have what we call a good prevention program. A prevention program says deep condition, relaxed hair twice a week. On my site, I have a program called Weak Hair Program and or Relaxed Hair Program. The Weak Hair Program I say because anytime you relax the hair, you are invading the cortical fibers, and that means you're reforming those cortical fibers and some of the bonds within that to make the hair straight. And so you break down those bonds, and those within the cortex or the cortical fibers, there are strength bonds, the bonds that hold the hair together. So anytime you violate or invade that area, you want to do a lot of reconditioning. So with that, I recommend our Weak Hair program. That would help tremendous. Getting the relaxer every 6 months is okay, as long as you're managing your new growth. Roller setting is great. Make sure you don't dehydrate and stay under the dryer extended times, periods. And if you do, moisturize over the top of the roller because you want to make sure you keep the hair hydrated. And you want to watch your scalp because if you're itchy, you're not mentioning that, but that could happen with extended roller times. Um, Strong and moisturized. Using our Moisture Plus is excellent for your hair. That's an excellent moisturizer. It also helps to manage new growth. And then you have your protein and moisture conditioner, the deep penetrating protein and moisture conditioner. Excellent. So that's all within that Weak Hair or Relax program. Okay? All right, next question. Which of your products are good for roller setting? That can keep my hair strong. I can't afford the whole line, but I would really like to buy some of your products. If you're looking for a good setting lotion in my line, it's called the Sculptor Set. It will help to set the hair beautifully without any harsh chemicals or things that could dehydrate. You will love it because it basically lays the cuticle layer down, and it keeps the hair from pulling in outside humidity and things like that. So it holds and it gives a nice shine. So that's what I would recommend. But really, we have some kits that are 2 and 3 month supplies for like $45. And you can call my institute. If you're hearing this video and you call my institute, call them, say, and you can't do it online, but call 901-380-4445 and say, hey, I heard it on one of her hair talk shows, and she said that I could get the kit for $39.99. Now, that includes 5 items, any 5 items, and then if you want 7 items, tell them that I said you can get it for $49.99, and that's in our starter kit. Okay, that's your sale. Use it. Okay, let's see. It says, thank you so much for your time and answering our questions. You're welcome. It says, I remember from a previous video that our shampoo should be 4.5 to 5.5. Do conditioners and leave-in conditioners need to have the same pH? Why or why not? Thanks again. Okay, leave-in conditioners, yes, shampoos should be 4.5 to 5.5 because shampoos are the closest to your hair. They're cleaning your hair. They're removing debris. That is very important. Most conditioners are acidic anyway, so you're pretty much safe with that, but they don't have to be 4.5 to 5.5. And the reason is because they're not cleaning and disturbing the cuticle. They're not, what you want is an acidic conditioner, but you don't have to go as low. Your cleaning products are really, really important because anything that cleans is going to, if you're not careful, it's like a thin line between stripping and clarifying if you're not careful. I know that it's just in points, but what happens, we're 100 times more in that direction, more acidic or more alkaline in any direction with the points. You see what I'm saying? If you're 7, you're over 100 times over more acidic than your hair really, alkaline than your hair really is. So you want to stay within that in cleaning because you want to make sure the basic chemistry is preserved. Now, with your conditioners, it's real important to have acidic conditioners, but you don't have to, because you're not cleaning the hair. You just want the hair to open up and you want to penetrate just into the cuticle as close as you can to the cortex, and then do some repair work. So it's really not as important, but you don't want to do any alkaline conditioners. But conditioners are mostly acidic anyway. My question is, I have 4B hair. I have noticed variations or in my lengths of hair strands throughout my head, and even though I do not have much breakage at all when I detangle, is my hair or new growth from previous shedded hair? Oh, she was talking about that question when she said her hairline was breaking. She said mostly the back. It could be, and I think this is the same question, but I'm going to answer it. She wanted to know is this breakage or new growth from previously hair shed? It could be. I don't know without examining it. I know that when we see hairline here that is short, in a lot of cases, there is breakage, especially with natural hair. And I think that you mentioned that you don't pull the hairline. Well, great. And it may be new hair. I would have to take a look at it. Send me some photos. Maybe if you're in my state or city, come by and let me do an analysis. And I'll be able to tell you more. Sorry, I can't without seeing it. Thanks. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a part 2. I love you. To God be the glory in Jesus. You know who I serve. And I'll see you in just a moment. Thanks a lot. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Keep those questions coming, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.